So what frustrates you more than anything? I asked that question at a conference in Dubai. And William here says, with some exasperation, I just want my people to do their jobs. I feel like I have to do their work for them. I want my life to be easier. I said to William, why are you doing their jobs? If you want your life back, you have to learn to delegate.
All too often, managers don't delegate because they don't know how to do the task and they want to master it themselves first. Or they know how to do the task and they simply just can't let go, or they just don't know how to delegate.
A new commander arrives. At the end of our very first meeting, he says to me, Tom, I'm aware of your vacation request, but I'm canceling it. It's too close to our annual evaluation. When I leave Major Christick's office, I'm furious. How am I supposed to tell my sister that I can no longer be in her wedding party? Bosses.
Let me let you in on a little secret.
What do managers want most? They want their leaders to be responsible. What do you think employees want most? They want you to give responsibility.
Whatever the outcome, my boss has to know that I own this. I'm responsible. For me, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm not going to miss my sister's wedding. I simply have to answer 3 questions. Do I trust my team? Can I let go? If not, why not?
Now, my 2 predecessors handled the flight schedule personally. I decide to delegate this task to a very capable warrant officer, Tom Sylvia.
Whether or not this is going to work depended on 2 things. Would I follow through and support Tom? Now, this was a no-brainer for me because, as I said, I was going to my sister's wedding. I had full confidence in him and I delegated full authority. The harder part was going to be whether or not I could convince my boss that I was still responsible, willing to accept the outcome of any actions of my team.
Now, when I return, I notice a difference in attitude. Not in Tom. Where do you think I notice it most? Who said that? Say it again.
Yourself.
Say it so you can hear it.
Yourself.
There you go. In me! In me! You know that great feeling you get when you give someone a gift and they really appreciate it? I didn't need to run the flight schedule. But delegating that task to Tom gave him the opportunity to shine. That event shaped how I would lead for the rest of my career.
Sure, I realize that empowering and delegating are very important lessons, but the real value here was about trust, fully understanding and truly appreciating that everyone wants to be a part of something greater, a winning team, and of course, we all want our contributions to matter.
Some of the key takeaways for me was when he spoke about the fact that leaders aren't afraid to ask for help. If there's a situation where you're leading your team, there's nothing wrong with if you reach out for help from other people.
No doubt, asking for help means letting go, being willing to set aside your ego. Do you trust your team? Are you investing in them so that they develop, learn, and grow? If you're like William was, you might be a little stressed. I encourage leaders to treat everyone with dignity and respect. Help them learn and grow. And when you ask for help, don't insist that they do it your way. Focus more on what needs to be done, not how.
I want you to make a V-shaped window. Come on now, work with me. All right. Now, I'm looking out there. None of you, no yous out there. None of this soft, curvy stuff. I'm an Army guy. Hard, straight lines. All right. 12 o'clock. What do you see? Shift your window to 11 and then to 1. Everything changed, right? an entirely different picture. Now do this. 12 o'clock. Tilt your head to the left. Tilt your head to the right. Once again, everything changed, didn't it? Well, there's an issue of vantage points here, right? Your perspective, that changes how you see things. So as a leader, you have to consider other people's perspectives. As a leader, you may need to reconsider your perspective.
The funny thing is that when I learned to let go, I found that my team often had different, better answers than I had. And that's when things really started to get easier. That experience was invaluable to me. It taught me about what I valued most, family. I learned how to empower and delegate. And, perhaps most important, I learned how important it was to make people feel like they were valued.
How many of you heard of Maya Angelou? I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
I also learned that how letting go freed me to focus my attention where it was needed most, instead of trying to do too much and getting burned out, which sadly I see far too often.
When I had my first command as a young captain, I trained for triathlons twice a day. And as a lieutenant colonel, my second command, I was able to get a second master's degree. Now, how did I do that? Because I learned to delegate.
My hope is that every manager experiences that great feeling you get when you give someone a gift. And of course, that elusive concept of personal balance.
So William here, after 3 days, finally smiles.